Hello ladies and gentlemen, you join us in very, very sunny Telford for some action from the NFC 1 Midlands as we have the Shropshire Revolution making their 2025 season debut, facing off against the 0-1 Birmingham Bulls after falling 31-0 to the Northants Knights last week. Tell you what, there's a bit of a juxtaposition in squad size today. Look at the might of the Shropshire Revolution. And I think you'll be surprised about the Birmingham Bulls. These teams have met 4 times in their history in a regular season play. I'm sure there may be some pre-seasons in there as well, but there's pre-season. So they've met 4 times. The series is split with Shropshire winning both fixtures against the Bulls last year, and the Bulls winning both fixtures, I believe, in 2021. I don't know why I'm saying believe, because I can just check the old note of Rooney's. 2022, in fact, 2022. So my name is Chris Tebb, and I will be your commentator for this game today. I tell you what, it's absolutely beautiful here. I tell you what, nice old pitch here in Telford, Shropshire. I'll just call it Shropshire from now on. Going to be an interesting one. I mean, we've all heard the tales, we've all seen it before, ladies and gentlemen. Just because you've got a bigger squad does not mean you're going to win. I can definitely say that. I remember I was playing for the Lincoln Colonials way back when, I think maybe 2021. We showed up to Huddersfield Hawks with 40 odd people, and Huddersfield had 21 because that was I think 19 was the minimum at the time. And we thought we're gonna walk this. No, we lost. We didn't score a single point. So the Bulls are going to be hoping to not suffer the same fate today. Obviously, Birmingham are one of the sort of stalwart teams in British American football, forming in 1987. Shropshire, on the other hand, 2007. So, I mean, Shropshire are basically a baby compared to the longevity of the Birmingham Bulls. But yeah, going to be an interesting one here today. First time, I believe, that Sports Anchor's live streamed either one of these teams. Might not be the case for Birmingham. I can't quite remember. I think it is the first time it's been streamed for Birmingham. Definitely the first time for the Shropshire Revolution. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't like me calling them the Shroppy Rev, this is not the game for you. It's going to be Shroppy Rev all day long. As we have the captains walking out now. At number 52 is an absolute giant of a man. We'll be able to get a name for you, of course. Well, I'm going to have a sip of my water. Hard A on that water. Got a lovely little media crew out there as well. So let's have a look. Who's walking away with it? Lovely facilities here for the Shropshire Revolution. But it doesn't matter, we're not here to do facility reviews, but I might start. 4 refs on the dock today. Keep, again, I'm not there in the huddle. I wish I was so. I think Shropshire have won the toss and have elected to defer. That's my guess. Yep, got it right. Bang on. Well done, Tebbs. That's why they pay you the big bucks, Tebbs. So, Shropshire get their first win of the season in the coin toss. They'd love to translate that to a league win. Honestly, wouldn't it be great if we just had a coin toss leaderboard as well? Who's out here winning their coin tosses? But Birmingham going to start off. They've got some players to watch out for. I believe their number 24 is going to be one that you should keep your eye on. Chicane had 180 or over 184 yards last week versus Northants, but obviously hasn't quite found the end zone yet. They're going to be looking to change that today. The Birmingham Bulls getting all fired up here. Great kit battle today. Great kit battle. You love to see it. Do you love to see it? Do you love to see it? I'd love to see it. We've got a big week next week, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday at 7 p.m. It's going to be the Bristol Aztecs versus the Amsterdam Crusaders. That one will be coming at you live on Sports Tank, and then I know that I will be back in Victoria Park in Somerset for the South Wales Warriors versus the Wyverns. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. But like next week is basically a year away at this point, right? Does not matter to me. So here we go now. Number 10 for Shropshire Rev is going to be booting this away. Josh Morton is going to have the boot. You've got 47, and I can't quite see. I think 47 and 4 back to return for the Bulls. I believe that is number 4. We're not quite whistled in yet. So Morton kicks it over to the right hand side. Sorry, 44. And that is going to go out of bounds. Not the start you want if you are Shropshire Rev, but a great start if you are the Birmingham Bulls. That's going to result 1 play, 1 flag, and that ball will be placed nice and high for Birmingham. I also believe that this is going to be an interesting little tidbit of the day. I believe that Birmingham have got a barefoot kicker, or at least their kicker was warming up without a shoe on. Not something I've seen since kicking compilations on YouTube. I think, no, it wasn't Morton Anderson. Was Morton Anderson a barefoot kicker? We don't know. We don't know. I don't think so. Oh my God, look at number 70. That is a man mountain here in Telford. We're going to get ready. That ball is going to be spotted on the 35. Oi, McIntyre. That's a big man. Right. So number 9, Sam Berry is going to be the QB for today for the Birmingham Bulls. There's going to be a run to 24. And that's going to be a great gain there for Birmingham. And we did talk about chicane, number 24. And just like that, he has given the Bulls 1 play and 1 first down. I mean, if you're Birmingham, you want that all day long. That all day long. Again, I sort of harken back to the game last week in Somerset were coming in off a defeat to Bournemouth, but they'd had the rust sort of beaten off of them. You know, this could be the same thing for the Bulls. The Bulls have had the rust beaten off of them by the Northants Knights. While Shropshire, they're still rusty. Goes to number 37, big fullback, right through the middle. And we know that Birmingham, we know that they favour the run, and that's on display here as that just punched straight up the middle by number 37. Michael Nabugo, he's going to have a gain of 5. Splitting those sticks right down the middle. Pretty impressive start here for one of the oldest teams in British American football. Think about it, there's something like there was some retro Birmingham Bulls merch. Around longer than the Panthers. And, well, a lot of teams actually, but I don't know why I singled out the Panthers. So 2nd and 5 here for Birmingham. They're in that I form. And Berry's going to drop back. He's going to roll out to his right-hand side, just try and get it off. And just over the head of number 86 for Birmingham. 3rd and 5 though. It's nice to see that they are mixing it up a little bit. But this needs to be I mean, it needs to be a stop for Shropshire if they want to sort of start their season off right. I mean, obviously, if you concede a touchdown in the first drive of your entire season, don't get me wrong, it gives you something to learn from, but you much prefer it if you didn't. So Birmingham trying to move quickly to that line. Still in that I form for the Bulls. And a toss play out to Chicane. And Chicane is, that man is a rookie. Chicane is going. Chicane is going. And Chicane, he's got his first touchdown of his entire life. He's a rookie and he's just scored a touchdown, 184 last week. And a touchdown on the board this week. I can imagine the refs probably having a talk with him about a celebration, but I mean, just like that, the Birmingham Bulls are on the board. And I tell you what, they have, and it's all been run, well, not all been run plays, obviously had the pass, but I mean, you can't help but be impressed by Birmingham and specifically number 24. So all back to what I was saying just before they managed to get that one through. Yeah, look, it's a barefoot kicker. Look, he hasn't got a shoe on. He's kicking, but can you believe? Can you believe? Martin Bryan. If this works. And it's up. And it's good. And I mean, what better start for that than the Birmingham Bulls? One pass play not looking fantastic, but run plays, and I tell you what, I think that number 24, Chicane, has just introduced himself to the Shropshire Revolution, and that's not going to be an introduction they're happy to make. As just like that, it's now the Birmingham Bulls' time to kick it away. It's one of those, I feel a bit like a pervert zooming in on this man's foot. But I'm not boggled. My mind's not, I'm not sat here going, I can't believe this. But it's just strange. I'll put it to this: in my years of covering British American football, it isn't something that I've seen before, and I've seen a lot, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen a fair bit, but it's interesting though. I'm going to look at the chat. What does the chat think about a barefoot kicker? What does the chat think? Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks for the nice comments. Normally I don't get people saying nice things to us. No shoe, but it's Gethin. Isn't that mad that he's got no shoe? Isn't that mad? But it doesn't matter because we're gonna look to see what he can do on a kickoff now. Number 8 and number 2 for Shropshire Rev back to collect this ball, and it's looking like it's going the way of number 2. And they're going to go for the reverse, and I believe that's been handed off to number 8. Good block. He's going down the sideline, goes out of bounds, but a flag on the play. And number 93 knocks over a bin, but I'm going to assume this is going backwards. But we're going to look in here. I mean, going to wait for our white hat ref here. I mean, holding on Shropshire. So 2 kickoffs and 2 pretty costly penalties for Shropshire Revolution. You know, again, I think that's more a case of having the rust, and special teams, you know, arguably special teams is probably the thing that you practice the least. So, I mean, I imagine that's sort of what it is. You're trying to be on the more positive side of things, but it does make sense. It does make sense. So what was a good return from that reverse is now heading backwards. And it looks to me like, yeah, the Shropshire Revolution are going to be starting on their own 20-yard line. Whistled in. A bit of a high snap, and it's going to be run up the middle, but Birmingham do manage to get a good wrap there. You know, again, I know if you've watched any games that I'm commentating on, I do tend to talk about the centres and the snapping. I'm a stickler for a good snap, and you know, on days like today where the condition for football is basically perfect, you can't be letting snaps go that high. It's not looking fantastic. But again, we've only seen one offensive play here from Shropshire Rev. They're going to have no gain on that play, and the QB's going to take it to the other side. He's going to flip it off, and number 9, I believe that's number 9, or is that number 5? Number 6. How do I get those mixed up? He's going to have a gain. He's going to have a gain of 4, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 now for Shropshire Rev. You know, it's one of those things where I imagine that the Rev probably looked at that scoreline last week between the Bulls and the Northamptonites and started licking their lips a little bit. 31-0. They may thought they were going to come in here and have a cakewalk, but I mean, it's not looked that way so far. 3rd and 6 now for Shropshire Rev. So drop back's going to roll out. That's a QB with speed. No, ball is out, and that is recovered by the Birmingham Bulls. I mean, this game, you got to give it to the Birmingham Bulls. They're looking pretty good. That ball popped and flied. And the Bulls are going to have great field position. And this is not the start the Shropshire Revolution thought they were going to get here. So it looks to me that the Birmingham Bulls will be starting on the 35-yard line of the Shropshire Revolution. But I imagine there's going to be a few more eyes darting to 24 of the Birmingham Bulls. Again, you love to see rookies succeed, especially when you consider that is that man's first touchdown of his life. Well, regular season touchdown of his life. He had 4 against Hereford, but regular season touchdowns. So Berry's going to drop back. He's going to move up in the pocket. He's going to try and escape, and he's going to stumble. I mean, the eyes were there. He's going to stumble, and he's going to have a loss of 2, I'm going to say, for the Birmingham Bulls. But they're being brave. They're not just going to trust their running back. Well, they are obviously going to trust their running back, but they're not just going to constantly hand it off to him. You know what I mean, people. You know what I mean. So, 2nd and 12 here for Birmingham. I think so. I imagine Birmingham. I think they need to temper their expectations a bit, because if I'm Birmingham, I'm grinning. I'm grinning all the way to the bank, and you know, maybe calm it down a bit again. But it's 2nd and 12. What am I talking about? Ignore that last piece of commentary. Ignore it. Oh, there was definitely a flag there. That was definitely a flag. That was definitely a flag. I mean, again, I know Shropshire may be feeling slightly slighted by the fact of just how this game has gone so far for them, but I mean, the jump was real. The jump was real. Gonna wait to see our white out ref. I think he's in the middle of the pile in the middle of the 2 squads. But we've got a lot of gentlemen wearing white hats today. Apart from number 37 of the Bulls. Strange. Everyone else. So it is going to be on the Shropshire Rev for jumping. So 5 yards tacked on there for the Bulls. So the Bulls are going to have a 2nd now and 7. And free play here for the Bulls. And again, running up the middle, but that is going to be a flag. Looks to be on Shropshire Rev again. It's going to be another 3 5-yards for the Birmingham Bulls. And again, I think this is definitely a case of rust. This is definitely a case of rust. This is definitely the Bulls. The Bulls are definitely preying on the fact that this is the Shropshire Revolution's first game of the 2025 season. And also, I do think, I mean, obviously, when I try to speak to people, I don't try and be, leading in any way. I've spoken to people from Shropshire, but, I'm just talking about my experience as a player. If I came into a game and I saw that the team that they played in the week prior and they lost 31-0, I'd be, licking my lips, licking my chops and slapping my hands together going, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I think this is it. I mean, two plays making Shropshire Revolution jump. They're going to be on edge all game now, which gives the Bulls the opportunity to play with a snap count. That's going to go to 37. That's a big man. And he runs through and he's going to be having a good chunk of yardage, but the Birmingham Bulls managed to get 10 yards for free without doing anything. But that run there from 37 is going to be enough for a Birmingham Bulls first down. Nabugo there in the backfield with Chicane, and I mean they've really proven today that is a dangerous combination. And they're going to be flat on the 20-yard line of the Shropshire Revolution. Berry under centre. And a handoff, another toss to Chicane. They scored on it last time. And a good stop there from Shropshire Revs. Going to make sure they don't glide into the end zone as easily last time, and only going to be a gain of 2 on the play. A lot of horizontal running from Chicane. You just couldn't find that gap to go north. I mean, still a good couple of yardage. Good couple of yards, and especially when you consider, Brian's boot, he doesn't have a boot. Brian's foot is pretty decent, I imagine, even if they don't get it here, but then I feel like it's jinxing. But unless something major happens, I think points are going to be on the board for the Birmingham Bulls here. After a fumble from Shropshire Revolution. Flag on the play. It looks to be potentially someone jumping on the side. Oh no, not even that. It's going to be a delay of game on the Birmingham Bulls. So Birmingham, who have been pretty disciplined today, are going to be resulting in a flag, and they're going to be moving back to, it's going to be a 2nd and 2. They managed to get out of a 2nd and 2 situation last time by forcing the Shropshire Revolution to jump. But again, I imagine that the Shropshire Revolution are going to be on their case, on their own case a little bit more. So moving around on the line. Goes to Nabugo. Flag comes in from the backfield. Looks to be a holding on Birmingham. So what was looking pretty promising here for the Birmingham Bulls is now resulting in them heading even further backwards away from the end zone of the Shropshire Revolution. I don't even think the unsheathed foot of Brian is going to be able to kick it in from here, as they're going to be facing a 2nd and 22 now. I mean, if you're Shropshire Rev, you've got to be happy that Birmingham are doing this to themselves. But this is exactly the prime opportunity for number 2 trying to come to the line. And once again, the Shropshire Revolution move, but they're going to call this on the Birmingham Bulls coaches are very, very unhappy. I'm waiting to see what the white hat referee is saying. I think he's having a conversation to work out who moved first. So full start on the Birmingham Bulls. I mean, again, this was turning out to be a spectacular drive here from Birmingham after managing to get the turnover. But I mean, Birmingham are going even further backwards as they're now facing a 2nd and 27 based solely on their own flags. I mean, unless Chicane or Berry have got something spectacular, this is going to be a pretty difficult situation to get out of. But I'll tell you what, we're here for it if they do. So Berry's got it, he's going to roll out. Trying to find someone. And it's intercepted there by the Shropshire Revolution. He's running north-south there. Good tackle from number 15 to be able to get it. Number 2 there of the Shropshire Rev is going to be giving that ball back, but they are going to be deep inside their own territory. Ryan Mellings getting the turnover for the Shropshire Revolution. I tell you what, that's better field position than I thought they would have, as it looks to be they're going to get set to go on offence from their own 30-yard line. So dropping back, fires one out. And it's interesting because it didn't look like, it looks like there was a bit of a miscommunication there again. This is where I'm going to lean back on sort of getting the rust off the Shropshire Revolution, because it seems as though that player who was on the outside, just he was not there, and more firing it towards a Birmingham Bulls defender more so than anything else. So 2nd and 10 for the Shropshire Revolution. So it's going to be around the middle from, I think that's number 6, and he's going to be shut down. And they are going to have a gain of 3 on the play. Yeah, I believe that is number 6. Where is my roster? Talking to myself, of course. If anyone knows who number 6 is, please tell me, because I haven't got him on my roster. So, unknown running back in here for Shropshire Revolution. So it's going to be another handoff, this time. Oh, wow, that was a big hit there. But it's not going to be enough for a first down. Number 44 on the run. But, okay, it doesn't look like there's a change of personnel here for the Shropshire Revolution. Davis, number 44, getting the Shropshire Revolution to a 4th and 1. Now here's a bold strategy here for Shropshire Rev. This is their first game of the 2025 season. If they get this, it's going to be pretty impressive. And they got the Bulls to jump offside. Nice, classic football. I tell you what, there's a lot of tactical flag and tactical decisions going on here between these teams. I like to see it. It's fun. You don't see it much. I mean, it's one of those things where when you're on 4th down and you've got a 4th and 1, your motor's going, you're ready to go, you're ready to blow that play up and save a first down for your team. I think that's what happened there. Oh no, so the referees have had a discussion, and that is going to be on the Shropshire Revolution. So 4th and 6 for the Shropshire Revolution. And are they going for this? It's 4th and 6. It's 4th and... Okay, Shropshire Revolution. Okay, let's see what you can do here. They're trying to get someone to jump. And they tried to do it again. And there was some movement there from a Birmingham Bulls defender, but it seems as though the centre was just not able to get that ball off. And that defender was able to move back. But even still, this is probably going to be going So that time Shropshire did manage to get it, and we're back to a 4th and 1. It's one of these things, ladies and gentlemen, is that I don't know how many times that I can talk about discipline and the rust of not playing, this being the first game of the season, all that, because, you know, this has happened a fair few times. We're in the exact same situation we were in, you know, a minute, 2 minutes ago. Okay, so Shropshire going to get it. It's going to be a QB keeper. That QB has got some speed. He's breaking around the outside. Looks like he's going to have enough for a first down, but then pushed out of bounds. But there's a flag in the backfield, ladies and gentlemen. There's a flag in the backfield. It may not be as cut and dry. It's just a nice simple first down. So, holding penalty on the Shropshire Revolution. So that play's wiped off the books. No first down for the team donning the purple and yellow. And finally, it seems, the Shropshire Revolution bring out their punt team. But what a good run that was there by number 11 of the Shropshire Revolution. Definitely got the speed. Has Ben Martin the signal caller for Shropshire Revolution, but they are now bringing on their punting leg. It's going to be a long way for them. Parallon number 44 is back to receive. And it's a fake from Shropshire. And that ball is away. I mean, what a bold strategy from Shropshire Rev. Oh my God. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Harvey Sutcliffe has just joined me and he scared the absolute life out of me. Bold strategy for that punt. Obviously trying to look for the hole and then kicking it hasn't resulted in good field position, but I mean, when I think there's a reason why the punting wheel, so to speak, has not sort of been renewed. They haven't really evolved the punting wheel, and I think it's for reasons such as that. But I mean, it's a bold strategy here for Shropshire Revolution, and it has sort of been a strange game. It feels like this game has been going on a bit longer than it actually has, considering that we've had all those flags. You know, I can't imagine that we're dying in the first quarter here. Okay, so Birmingham going back to that I formation. And it's going to go to chicane on the right-hand side. Oh, and what a great tackle for loss that was for the Shropshire Revolution. I mean, if you wear number 99, you've got to be an absolute stud no matter what team you play for. And Sam Rhodes has definitely delivered, as now the Birmingham Bulls are going to be facing a 2nd and 13. Yeah, I would say 2nd and 13. All right, 2nd and 14 then, Harvey Sutcliffe. Is that going to be the end of Q1?
Have you mentioned this about the sand?
No, what's going on?
There's so many holes in this field
Okay.
that they flagged like 7 different holes when the rest turned up to the field, and then they had to fill them all with sand. So expect this to happen a lot.
I mean, again, that is pure Britball. Pure Britball. I mean, got to get. I mean, to be fair, it's better than having it having it filled in. But these players going to have a break now. Birmingham getting some water on. Again, I personally do think that in this match we're going to see that rust start to degrade off the Shropshire Revolution, but it all depends on if they can catch the Birmingham Bulls when that time comes. The scoreline at the minute, 7-0 to the currently 0-1 Birmingham Bulls. The 2nd and 14. Tomorrow at 7:30 on our YouTube and Facebook we have the rundown where Micah is joined by guests. discussing everything. Brit ball that happens on Sunday, or typically every day, but more specifically Sunday. Delicious water. Right, okay. So 2nd and 14 now for the Birmingham Bulls. Bit of movement there. Going to go to chicane. He's just finding gaps in that Shropshire defence. It's going to be a good run. I'm going to make a preemptive guess. Yeah, no, that run was a bit further than I thought. I want to say a gain of... I'm going to say a gain of 7 on that play, as the Bulls now face off with a 3rd and 7. But I mean, you can't help to be impressed, or can't help but to be impressed by number 24 of the Birmingham Bulls. I had one of the coaches come over and say, you know, you've got to keep your eye on 24, and I mean he was right. And I don't know what to tell you, very, very impressive, considering that he is a rookie as well. Makes it doubly impressive for Birmingham. So 3rd and 7 for the Birmingham Bulls. Can they get it done? Barry's got it. And that ball is out. And that was almost destined for another pick for number 2. But now the punting unit comes on. And so this is where it becomes interesting now, because Brian, number 3, our barefoot kicker, has got something on his foot for punts. I don't know if it's a sock. I know that this isn't what people... Well, actually no, people are interested in this. Is it a sock, Harvey?
No, it's a boot.
Is it actually?
It's an orange boot, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, me and Harvey were discussing this before the game. It's like field goals and extra points, barefoot, I can understand, but punting barefoot, disgusting. So 8 back to receive. Kick is away, that's going to the right-hand side. And that is going to take... Again, just from the angle that we're at, I wasn't able to see what bounce that had. So Shropshire now starting on their own 23 by the looks of things. And throwing it out to number 10. And brought down, and we are going to have... So you're going to see? Yeah, we are going to have a first down for the Shropshire Revolution. You know, we haven't seen much in the passing game today, so it's nice to see. Shropshire Revolution going quickly. I mean, it's working. And a good escape there from 11, and the speed's going to get him out. You can see if they keep going quickly. I mean, this just could be a case of trying to wear down the attrition of the Birmingham Bulls. And on that run play, Martin is going to have a gain of 5, splitting those sticks. But we're still in Q1. Martin's got it again. Throws it out short to number 10, but that just bounces off the ground in front of him. So 3rd and 5 now for the Shropshire Revolution. Though I would argue if this does end up going to a 4th and 5, again, I'm not here to coach anyone, but if I'm Shropshire Rev, I wouldn't start messing around with those punts again. So, you know, it's one of those things where it's not to say that it didn't work, because Birmingham didn't score, but you're putting a lot of faith in your defence if you're going to start doing stuff in specials like that. So 10 in motion for them. Martin gives it off, but that is just snuffed out here, and that could be maybe it's going to be a loss of 2 on the play. Very, very strange here from Shropshire Revolution. It seems, again, I'm going to keep saying that I think the rust should be starting to come off, but I don't get the feeling that it is. It's going to be an interesting. I was about to say it's about to be an interesting half time. I think there's going to be some interesting adjustments that need to be made here for Shropshire Revolution, but you know, we're not at a Q1 yet. There's still a lot of football to play in this half of football. So we're going to see if Shropshire try and do anything tricky again here. So sending a man in motion for their punt. Bounce off the floor in front of the punter. No, and he just gets it away this time. Yeah, I think that's a good decision. And that's taken a Shropshire bounce. And that is just going to settle on what looks to be the 18-yard line of the Birmingham Bulls. We are still in Q1, aren't we? Yeah, I thought so. But I think just the amount of flags here, ladies and gentlemen, means that this game has gone on for what has felt like a bit longer than a normal Brit Ball affair.
There you go, just ended.
See, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they pay me the big bucks. So it's in a Q1 here in Telford. Scoreline is 7-0 to the visiting Birmingham Bulls. Birmingham are currently 0-1 after losing to Northampton last week. But Shropshire doesn't seem to have much going for him on offence currently. Shropshire have recorded 1 interception. Birmingham 1 forced fumble and recovery. The only touchdown of the day coming from number 24, Chicane of the Birmingham Bulls. So they're going to be, yeah, I'd say that they're on their own 18-yard line. And they're all the way. And it's one of those things where it's sod's law, ladies and gentlemen. The second that we start to have some action that could be down the end of the field that I'm actually on, it's the end of the quarter and it flips. So it looks to be in the shotgun. Oh no, they're saying the pistol now for them. Goes to Chicane, but Chicane is caught and his knee hit the ground. Very observant call there from the refs, unless they're going to call that. I don't see a flag there, but it did look like Chicane's knee did touch the floor on that run, so that play's going to stop. And yeah, definitely in the pistol, because that is going to be a loss of 2 on the play there for the Birmingham Bulls. Second and 12 for them here. Birmingham Bulls spread out a bit more in their formation. Still trying to get the Shropshire Revolution to jump. QB's got it. Berry's rolling out. He's looking for a man. And a good break up there by number 41. I'm going to say of the Shropshire Rev. It certainly is. Let me get you a name on that man who had that great break up. Dylan Bateman. So we do have a player down, and that is a member of the Shropshire Revolution. I was trying to make a joke about a good breakup. Who's had a good breakup?
What, like
Ross and Rachel?
There's been something big recently, hasn't there? I don't know.
Brangelina. It's a pretty big breakup.
That was ages ago, wasn't it?
Who's broken up recently?
Prince Charles and Princess Diana.
Two for that. With that.
Then you can like bring it into a tackle being a good car crash. There you go.
Thanks, Harvey, mate.
Keep that one.
Harvey doesn't work for Sport Tank, so you can't ever go to Sport Tank for that one. Let's get back to football. 3rd and 12 here for the Birmingham Bulls. So sending a man in motion for the Bulls. And it's going to be a handoff around the outside and brought down there. I don't think that's going to be enough for the Birmingham Bulls, or definitely not. What am I talking about? Is it going to be enough? Of course it's not. So the Birmingham Bulls now are going to be punting very, very close to their own end zone. They're going to be looking to, or Shropshire Revolution anyway, they're going to be hungry to get this. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a little bit of trickery. So Martin Bryan, you can tell who the kicker is. He's got a lovely bright orange shoe boot on. 24 and 8 back to receive now for the Shropshire Revolution. Connor Fletcher at 24 and Kieran Mayle at number 8. Man in motion for the Bulls. They're going to try and get to him. 2 was right there. That's taking a diagonal sort of bounce. Oh, there's going to be some arguments there. There's going to be some arguments there about who will claim that, but I mean the Birmingham Bulls coaches are not very happy. It looks as though it was down by Shropshire, but then picked up by a Birmingham Bull. Don't know if that's how that works. No, I do know that's how that works, and I'm just joking around with you. I do know that's how that works. So Shropshire Revolution, I mean, you'd have to say that Q1 was pretty close between these two teams, but you know, Shropshire need to win round 2, and round 2 being Q2. So Martin, number 11, the QB for Shropshire, is going to hand it off to number 18. He's going to have a big gap there. That's a decent gap, and he gets past number 9. I mean, one of the better runs today from the Shropshire Revolution. But there was daylight. I mean, there's lots of daylight because it's, you know, midday. But so that was Jack Colchester. And they got Tom Cooper now in at back for Shropshire Rev. And it's going to go to Cooper. He's going to hesitate. He's going to be able to just dive forward. He's going to have some positive yardage on the play. He's not going to have a lot. Looks to me like he's going to have 2 yards. I'd say more leaning towards 1.5 yards, but that's not how that works. So we're going to, you know, round up. So 2nd and 8 now for the Shropshire Revolution. I'm going to take a guess. This is the Tebs guess the play. I think Martin, number 11, is going to roll out, and he's going to have number 44 as a defender. So no, it's just going to go to 44. He hesitates. So a bit of a fight there. Looks seems as though there was a little bit of extracurriculars. 3rd and 5. So we're getting a gain of 3 on the play there from Shropshire Revolution. And my Tebs guess the play of the day did not work. So make of that what you will. So trips on the right-hand side now for the Shropshire Revolution. Martin is going to go back into the shotgun, trying to get a jump. He's going to hand it off there to number 44. And there's going to be nothing there. And that is going to be a 4th down. Yeah, there we go. We're going to flip it. Yeah, it's 4th down. So 4th and 5 now for Shropshire Revolution, and Martin 11. Their quarterback is still out there. So once again, the Shropshire Revolution. I mean, they're a gambler's dream because they're banking on it all here. Trips on the right hand side. Martin is going to look out to his right hand side. He's going to look for someone, and he's going to fire it. And that's caught by 18. And 18's going to go in. I don't think he's going to have enough for a touch. He certainly isn't. He's going to be down at what looks to be the 2-yard line. And it looks to me like the Shropshire Revolution are starting to go quickly, but a Birmingham Bulls player down is going to stop that from happening. But definitely the biggest play of the day so far for the Shropshire Revolution. Tom Cooper giving the Revolution, they got the defibrillator, bop, giving him a nice little jump start here as they look to put their first points on the board of the 2025 regular season. It's interesting to see the Shropshire Revolution sort of take a step back from the passing game and more so focusing on the run game. But I mean, it sounds silly to say here, but just with how close this game has been, Shropshire need to get back on level pegging with the Birmingham Bulls. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Cooper's going to have a couple of yards on that one. And I think he may even be potentially down at the 1-yard line now. In fact, I'd take a wager that he probably is. Yeah, no, he is. So they're going to bring in number 44, and that's a big man at running back. Davis, number 44. I mean, I don't think it's going to take it's not going to take Bill Belichick to figure out what they're going to try and do here. Yep, it's going to go to 44. Flag on the play, and Davis is not going to manage to get in there. I mean, yeah, you could see that one coming. You could see that one coming. But a flag on the play here. I think this could potentially be. Actually, I'm not going to guess what it is. I've done that a few times today, and I don't like it when you guess what the flag is, because if you just wait, you'll find out. But the referees are having a discussion. I believe it's a collection of zebras is called a magic.
Holding.
So a holding penalty on the Shropshire Revolution. They're going to be having their nice and potentially easy 1 yard to go attempt for the end zone taken back to the 11-yard line. You know, but potentially, like, I do always find that there is positives to look at it, is that when you now move back to the 10, or the 11 in this case, the field widens a lot more. You don't have those cramped situations that you would do if you were going from the 1, 4, 5. So, yeah, could be a blessing in disguise here for the Shropshire Revolution. So 2nd and goal from the 11. After that holding penalty, you've got 9. Not on an island all by himself on the left-hand side. High snap. Martin's going to have to bail out. And it looks like he might actually have the angle. No, he's not. But he's going to make it a bit more manageable here, as it looks like they're going to have a 3rd and, I'd say at the very least, a 3rd and 5. Hello, hello. There we go. So Martin's going to fire it into the back corner, looking for Cooper, and Cooper has got it. I'm going to wait to see a signal. We've got a balls player down. I saw one signal, but we've got some whistles in here. I'm going to wait for our white hat referee to call that one in, because we do have a flag on the player. I can actually see it here. You know, if Shropshire Revolution managed to get down that close to the end zone again, and this time they're going back again, I mean, that is definitely a question of rust and discipline here for the Shropshire Revolution, and it is. The Shropshire Revolution are going back, and there's going to be no touchdown on that play for the Shropshire Revolution, and they're going to be going back. It's happened. It's happened again.
10-yard penalty for that. I don't know what that was. Offside, maybe.
I imagine it's probably holding. I wouldn't make a guess, but 10-yard penalty for the Shropshire Revolution means that once again they're going to be starting their touchdown journey from, I think this time I think the 13-yard line. And Martin tries to escape up through the middle, and he is wrapped up and brought down there by 51 of the Birmingham Bulls. And now the field goal unit is going to be coming on for the Shropshire Revolution. And I mean, if you're the Birmingham Bulls, you have got to be happy with that. And I'd even say at this point, this isn't a case of the Birmingham Bulls beating the Shropshire Revolution. Right now, this is a case of the Shropshire Revolution beating the Shropshire Revolution. These flags have been not good for Shropshire, but again, as I said at the start of the game, this could just be the case of the rust needing to come off the Shropshire Revolution. Hello? Am I back? Have I just been doing commentary to myself for the last, like, 20 minutes? Someone please tell me, because it says that I am on, and when I plug in my tech stuff, it says that I can hear myself through it. You're back now. Sorry about that, guys. That is my fault. Yeah, I do apologise. I do apologise. I mean, damn, I have actually been doing commentary to myself for about 20 minutes. That's mental. Sorry. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Damn. Yeah, yeah, but at least it's good practice. Yeah, you've missed some absolute gems, ladies and gentlemen. Just let you know, you've missed some absolute gems. Oh, dearie, dearie me. It's in the infamous words of Drake, ladies and gentlemen. If you go and get yourself a drink, I'll sound a whole lot better. I can't believe that. I've been doing commentary to myself for 20 minutes. Oh dear, dear, dear. Well, we're back. we are back. just as we're about to break for half time, we're back. Oh dear. Okay, so right. So Shropshire have scored, right? No. Shropshire have scored. They're going to get the ball back after half time, so looking pretty decent for them there. They're going to try and time out the Birmingham Bulls so they can have another reception or another offensive drive before this half goes into the books. Going to chicane on the outside. Lots of horizontal running. So not quite going to be there. I imagine it's going to be another. Yep, another timeout for the old Shropshire Rev. Damn, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, you missed some gems. You missed some gems. The worst part is I had someone come up to me like, oh, is the sound off? And then, because I can... 1 minute 6.5. And because I can hear myself, I was like, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. And now I feel bad, because it was. But then it also doesn't make sense. Why is my tech telling me that you can hear me, when actually you can't? I'm sure that Steve has sent me a very, very angry message saying, Tebs, you melt, you've turned the sound off. We'll stop talking about it now. We're going to forget it ever happened. So, punt is away. Not the best. It takes a Shropshire bounce. So Shropshire are going to have that. Oh, that was a better kick than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the Revolution are gonna have that ball just a yard into their own territory. Just a yard into their own territory. So they're going to need an absolute screamer of a play here, or a good game plan, just throwing it to the outside. Going to have to matriculate the ball down the field. I imagine you've got 44 Davis in to block, and you do. Martin's looking for an absolute screamer. And that is caught! Oh my God! What? I can't believe that! What? Let's go to the replay. I can't fathom it. That was an absolute... I mean, I said you need an absolute screamer, and I mean, you don't get any more of a screamer than that. Well, and I mean, the complexion of this game has shifted so quickly, and I mean, you love to see it when teams back their offense enough to be like, yeah, we're just going to take the timeouts, we're going to give them one more shot, and they did. And considering that the Birmingham Bulls were leading the majority of this game, and now They're one kick away from a 10-point deficit. Mental. When that ball was going through here, I was like, yeah, that defender's got that, but no. Ball is up. Gonna wait for a signal for me. 10. And that is it. Kick is good. Got to give a man his flowers. I believe that was Kieran Mail, number 8, who was able to bring that absolute screamer in for the Shropshire Revolution. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, have mentioned it before, they're going to get the ball back after half time. And I mean, now, it's like the last 2 offensive drives have just been miraculous here for the Shropshire Revolution. So we're going to do a fun game, ladies and gentlemen, while they're setting up to kick. It's called, Has Steve Sent Me an Angry Message? No, he hasn't, but thank you, Coach Russ, for telling me. I don't tend to check my phone when I'm streaming. Okay, thank you everyone for telling me that there was no sound. I do apologise. So it seemed like just moments ago they were kicking off after their field goal. White hat ref giving us a whistle from all the way down there. No, more whistles. Morton to kick it away. Just changing hash, ladies and gentlemen. Just changing hash. So just going for the back left corner. Flag on the play. I think a player may have taken it out of bounds. We've got one player who looks to be saying that it was fumbled, he got it and it's a touchdown. But I imagine there'd be a bit more screaming if that was the case. So we're going to say that it's not that. So, penalty on the play and we're going to get a re-kick here. You can look at number 10 Morton, he's like, oh gosh, I don't want to, I'm not in the mood. I can't be kicking it, I don't want it. They're not gonna. I heard the word re-kick. Does not look like that is going to be the case. And the Birmingham Bulls are going to be looking to unload here, much in the same way that Martin and the Shropshire Revolution, well, Martin and Mail, I should say, Martin and Mail, we can't just put it all on Martin. Martin and Mail managed to do. So first and 10 here, dying moments of Q2 and the first half here, in the first half of Shropshire Revolution football for 2025. It is going to be a handoff and brought down there. I mean, I definitely think the Shropshire Revolution, they were not expecting number 24 of the Birmingham Bulls to be so dominant, especially in that opening drive. They have managed to get a lid on chicane. They see Birmingham. They're not worried about this clock expiring. They know that they haven't got long left. I mean, I imagine they'd like to get at least something going. And as much as I don't get me wrong, I do back chicane, but I think you've got to go through the air here. You've got trips on the right, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, I would say a pretty even game until the dying moments of the second quarter, where the Shropshire Revolution managed to get an absolute screamer, a Hale Martin, so to speak, down there. Kieran Mayle managing to bring it in after another touchdown from them. And now the Shropshire Revolution lead by 10 in what has been, I'd say, a very, very competitive game that I would think now that the Birmingham Bulls, the attrition is going to be where the problems start to arise for the Bulls. Birmingham currently 0-1. Shropshire Revolution trying to get their first win of the season. Before we go into the break, because it's a lovely, beautiful, sensational day, and I know that you need to go and get some libations, and you are allowed to. It is 1:30. It is happy hour. It's happy hour somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go through some of the scores from around the league. And once again, I do give my apologies for my mic being off for 20 minutes, but I'll be back. So here we go to newest. So half time, the Solent Thrashers making their re-debut down in Division 1 lead the Bristol Apache 20-6. Half time in the Stallions versus the Blitz B. The Stallions, they lead 14-6. And again, because this was a pretty early kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, there's not going to be too many games. There's not going to be too many games we've got results for. But I mean, this one, I think, has been closer than expected. But now it's a case of, can the Birmingham Bulls fight the comeback that the Shropshire Revolution managed to put on them in the dying moments of Q2. Ladies and gentlemen, we will catch you in about 15 minutes. Go and get yourself a hot drink, a cold drink, a colder drink, an ice cold drink, a drink you put ice in, a drink you put lime in. We will see you in just a little bit. Don't turn your mic off, Tebs. No, I won't, don't worry. I still can't believe I did that. We're not going to talk about it anymore. We're not going to talk about it anymore. Louis Tropman has asked me what my go-to Easter egg is. I don't really have one, if I'm completely honest. I had to buy the other half a Lindor strawberry and cream one, and I think that the market for Easter eggs is going a bit mental. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have one of those extravagant ones, but for me, like, it's just like, don't get me wrong, I'm aware that I'm fat, right? But the problem is, for me, is that it's just too much chocolate. Like, for me, my ideal Easter egg is just just a small Easter egg. You get like, a tube of Rolos with it or a Kit Kat. I don't need one of these. Like, if the egg eclipses the size of my head, that's too much chocolate. Like, I'm just going to get sick and I'm not going to enjoy it. So, thank you, LT, for that question. I'm going to try and talk to Dom Sims. I'll be furious. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. I was enjoying some of the delicious food that they had here, and I didn't realise that they were setting up, so we're back in. Just got to check, make sure everyone can hear me. Can you hear me? I think you can, but... So, that is going to go out of bounds. And just like how Shropshire started the first kickoff of this game, the Birmingham Bulls do the same in the second. Yeah, sorry ladies and gentlemen, it's really nice. If you need to come to a Shropshire Rev game, do get that. Okay. Let me have a drink and then I'll do some more commentary things. Okay, look in. So realistically, this game, right now, can the Bulls survive this first drive? They survived this first drive without any points going on the board for the Shropshire Rev. You know, they have got a chance. Shropshire did manage to score quickly, very, very quickly, successively, as we had a Hale Martin down there. Are they changing hash because of the sand?
Oh, potentially.
So I'm just asking Harvey, because that's the second time that the hash has had to be changed over. So hand off to 18. Decent enough gain. He's going to have a gain of, I'm going to say 4 on the play. Yeah, we've got some members of the Sandwell Steelers here watching as well. They're going to have to be taking on both of these squads at some point. Second and 6 for the Shropshire Rev. 3 receivers on the left-hand side. So Martin is going to scramble out. He's being pursued by 96. And Martin takes a slide. And it looks to be that Martin is holding his leg. There's a whole cavalcade of things going on here, ladies and gentlemen, because Martin has gone down holding his leg. We've got a flag on the play. There was a big block by one of the O-line. But that is not good. Number 11. He's been so good for them today, managing to get out of these situations. I mean, he definitely could halt the momentum here of the Shropshire Revolution. It's going to be interesting to see does their backup possess the same amount of skill? Oh, that is not good. He's holding his. No, we don't tend to cover it, but he's holding his hands to his helmet. He's getting up under his own power. Oh, he's limp. That's a bad limp, ladies and gentlemen. So we do still have a flag on the play. So blocking the back outside the tackle box on number 52 of the Revolution. They're going to be going back 10 yards. As here we have number 14 in at QB for the Shropshire Revolution. And that man is Dom Sims. Dom Sims, former Lincoln Colonial. He's been at Shropshire Revolution for a long, long time. Normally, they've had him out at receiver. I was talking to Mr. Sims before the game, and there was talk about him being the starting quarterback for the Revolution this year. He's back into that role. So 19 in motion for the Revolution. Hand off to 18. And he's just going to bowl forward. I mean, when you're facing, you know, this big of a, this big of a distance, you know, are we going to see the arm of Sims unleashed? Has he been keeping himself warm sideline? He has been the holder for Shropshire today, but I can't imagine that is going to keep the arm of Dom Sims warm. So it's going to be interesting to see just what he can do. Dom Sims being able to draw him offside, and Dom Sims with a big throw, and it's caught by number 9. And there is a flag on the play, though. I mean, I wouldn't celebrate too quickly, gents, because there's a flag on the play. But a good throw there by Dom Sims, and that is going to be on the Birmingham Bulls, and of course, the Shropshire Revolution are going to decline. But what a ball there from Dom Sims, brother of the much more successful Nathan Sims. But I mean, Dom Sims managing to get them out of trouble as well as his receiver. Let me get on my roster again. So it's going to be a run play. 18's got the space. Oh, and he's broken through. And a late saving tackle there by number 18 of the Bulls. Damien Duran there of the Bulls, managing to stop that touchdown from going through. Jack Colchester on that great catch from that Dom Sims ball. But Tom Cooper, the running back, punching his way through. So from the, I'm going to say the 12-yard line here, is a 1st and 10 for Shropshire. And it's a handoff. Cooper trying to run through, but the Bulls managed to stop another touchdown for number 18 of Shropshire Rev. What's going on? Sorry, the down mark is the one of the gentlemen with it is started moving it. So they have got space between themselves and the end zone in terms of a 1st down. So they can still get a 1st down here if they choose to. I do apologise that it's on a bit of a wonk when it's down here, but the problem is that I've had today is a lot of the action has been down the opposite end of the field to me. And it sounds like I'm crying because I am. Okay. Okay. So handoff, and that's just caught in the middle there. And the Shropshire Revolution are going to be going backwards. Could be a miscommunication. We don't know. We don't know. Obviously, you know, Dom Sims could. Yeah, I mean, interesting to see here that they've now got a 3rd and I'm going to say 6. But they are obviously definitely within field goal range, definitely. But I mean, I think a touchdown here would definitely make the Shropshire Revolution feel a bit more comfortable. So So Dom Sims drops back. Dom Sims fires into the corner. I just couldn't find anyone there. So it's going to be interesting to see here. It's 4th and 6. It's 4th and 6 and the Shropshire Revolution are going for this. I mean, so again, they've been gambling with their 4th downs all game long. I don't quite understand why. I don't see why you wouldn't just kick the 3 here. Well, gamblers at heart, I can respect that. Okay, so it's a handoff, and they're going for that reverse, and there is some space if 9's quick enough. Dives out the way of 1. No, it's not going to be enough for the Shropshire Revolution. But truthfully, I mean, it's still not that bad here. I mean, they're already up by a fair bit. And now the Birmingham Bulls are going to be taking over deep inside their own territory. And again, it's going to be a case of the attrition now of the Birmingham Bulls. Can they sustain? You know, it feels like it's been... it feels like the Shropshire Revolution have very much drained a lot of the clock there, but I mean, we have had flags and injuries, of course. But it looks to be that the Birmingham Bulls are going to be setting up shop on their own 9-yard line. So it's going to be a handoff again. Chicane has got the space and he has got the movement there, but I mean, in those short yardage situations, when you're backed up, you're not going to try and risk sending your QB backwards into your own end zone. So I mean, the Shropshire Revolution managing to get a hold of that. The run there for Birmingham is only going to result in a gain of 1 for one of Britball's oldest American football sides. I think it's Bulls and Oxford Saints, and Cats as well. Yeah, I think it's Cats, Bulls, and then Saints. Don't quote me on that. I know the Saints stopped for a little bit. I tell you what, the fullback managed to burst through there. I thought we were about to see a running back sprint up through the middle, but again, you have still got to be impressed with the run game of the Birmingham Bulls, especially considering the 24 is a rookie. And they're going to have a gain of, going to be able to get it into, anyway, a 3rd and 4. Third and I'd argue, where would you draw the line at 3rd and manageable? Where would you draw the line? I'd say a 3rd and 4 is just outside the way of manageable. So the toss play, I mean, it got them a touchdown earlier in the game. But again, I'm going to have to check the angle here. And look at the refs on that far side, and that does not look like it's going to be enough for a Birmingham Bulls 1st down. So the Birmingham Bulls now coming back onto the field. What do you mean coming back onto the field? Sorry, the punt team for the Birmingham Bulls coming back onto the field. And now and number 3 there. Their barefoot field goal and extra point kicker is back on. He did have a bit of a snafu that led to the Shropshire Revolution's 1st touchdown of the day. Almost. And I mean, what a great kick there from number 3. That's going to be down at, I think, the 25-yard line. Number 24 for the Rev did not want any of that, and I don't blame him. So, and Martin Bryan there, and delivering a big kick. Get him signed on Amazon. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, so it's not going to be number 11 Martin back in for the Shropshire Revolution. They're going to be sticking with number 14, the incomparable Dom Sims. Okay, so as Harvey did mention earlier in the game, because there are so many holes on this field, they're having to bring in a sand bucket to fill them in. And I mean, that's what's happening right now. So everyone can have a little break. I mean, if you want to go get yourself a drink, go and get yourself a drink, because it's now time to do it. Because we need to wait for the sand bucket. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we're going to do? We're going to film the man with the sand. Good form. Good form. He's the Sandman. And the Sandman is delivering. The Sandman is going. What a great job that is. What I like about that is he's going out of bounds. Nice and quick. He's not going to go as the crow flies. We've got football to play. No, he's coming back in. There's more sand. There's more sand to be added. Right, here we go. No more sand. Only football. Well, not only football, but you know what I mean. So two receivers out on the left-hand side, tight end in. High snap, but Dom Sims manages to get it, and he fires it off, and I mean, decent enough there from Dom Sims, managing to just get a hand on it and throw it away, a situation that could have been disastrous for the Shropshire Revolution. Managed to get a good hand on that ball, batted it down to himself. Second and 10. Birmingham Bulls coach is saying watch the hard count, and we've seen a lot of hard counts today. We've mainly seen Shropshire Revolution being the team to bite on it. Again, as I said earlier, I think that was just maybe the rust starting to come off of the Shropshire Revolution. 18 in the backfield. Another high snap. Sims can't get a hold of it this time. That ball is out. But a second high snap here. And Dom Sims just cannot get a hold of it. And you have to be thankful here for number 69 of the Shropshire Revolution, Lewis Bailey, because he just saved a disastrous play there for the Shropshire Revolution. Two high snaps now. Two high snaps now for the Shropshire Revolution. And I mean, we've seen that Sims does have a bit of a cannon of an arm here, but they're now facing down the barrel of a third, and I'm going to argue probably about 24. It's interesting they're not going to be going for something a little bit safer here, because if this goes over the head, and there's a full start there, well, there was movement anyway. And it's one of these things, ladies and gentlemen, where, oh, and now the Shropshire Revolution are in the danger zone, right? They are in the danger zone. Now, I will say, as someone who has played O-line, sometimes when you have a change of quarterback, it can be quite difficult to acclimatise yourself with the cadence of your new backup quarterback. I've done it before where I've snapped the ball early. You know, Lewis Bailey, I mean, he still dived on that football to save a fumble recovery by the Birmingham Bulls. So despite that flag being on him and setting the Shropshire Revolution this far back, I don't know about this. I just go under centre here, guys. Okay, good snap this time. Sims drops back. Sims scrambles out. And it's a sack in the end zone. Clap those hands together, because it is a safety for the Birmingham Bulls. So 9-17 the score here. Two bad snaps there, putting the Shropshire Revolution back into the danger zone, and then a false start penalty by the man who saved the fumble recovery after the bad snap. Put them in their own end zone. And Sims tried to scramble out, but just unable to get it done. And the Shropshire Revolution are going to concede 2 points now to the Birmingham Bulls. You know, once again, I do feel as though it is sort of the case here where the Shropshire Revolution, you know, are beating themselves here. We've seen good snaps all day long from the centre of the Shropshire Revolution, but 2 high snaps down, and Dom Sims is, you know, quite a bit taller than their starting QB. But I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, because if those, you know, it's going to sound harsh, but if those snaps were higher and Martin was still in, I mean, the first one could have been disastrous. So we're going to have to kick again there, so not much. So 9-17 the score. Shropshire lead by 6. So here we go now. Morton, number 10, to kick it away for the Shropshire Revolution after that safety. Kick is up, firing it to the back left. Okay, so again, because it's down that back left corner, I can't see what's happened. I think it may have gone out of bounds, but I wouldn't be able to say for definite, because it's all the way down there, and I can't see down there because of the Shropshire Revolution players. Happy Easter, everyone. How's everyone doing? You have your Easter eggs? You having your Easter eggs now? You having your Easter eggs now? Watching this game, Easter eggs right now. So yeah, that looked like it did go out of bounds here. Can Birmingham get something going on offence after receiving a couple of points there from that Shropshire safety? So Berry's looking to the right hand side. He's looking for an absolute screamer there, but can't find his receiver in number 83. And we do have a flag on the play. I tell you what, there's been a whole lot of yellow laundry today. A whole lot. Just going to wait and see what it is. Sorry, I'm just listening to the Birmingham Bulls coaches. About what it could be. Potentially could be holding here on the Bulls. I will say, ladies and gentlemen, please do consider joining us next week if you're not heading down to Dean's Rugby Club in Bristol next Saturday at 7 p.m. kickoff time. It is the Bristol Aztecs versus the Amsterdam Crusaders in the CEFL. Going to be one of the biggest games, if not the biggest game Sport Tank has ever covered. I will be there on the 1s and 2s. So will Kwame. And we are going to be there. So first down for the Birmingham Bulls after that penalty on the Shropshire Revolution. And also join me next Sunday for the Somerset Wyverns versus the South Wales Warriors. So we got a whole weekend of good football for you next weekend. But we're going to lock back in now as Birmingham will take it And Chicane has got space around the outside. He gets past number 41. Chicane is going. Chicane is going. Chicane, touchdown. And another one on the board. He didn't have any last week. He's got 2 today. Absolutely amazing for the rookie out of Birmingham. And just like that, it seemed like this game was over going into the second half. But right now, we are we've seen Chicane work the outside all game long. That's how he scored his first touchdown, and that's how he scored his second. So it's not much of a difficult situation here for the Birmingham Bulls. You know what they're going to do. They're 2 points away. They are 2 points away from tying this game up. As we finally get some action down this side of the field for once. So here we go for Birmingham. Can they tie the score in the third quarter? Berry drops back, just fires it into the middle and unable to get it done. So after that miraculous Chicane touchdown for the Birmingham Bulls, the score 15-17 for the Shropshire Revolution. But it's going to start getting a bit tricky. It's going to be interesting to see. After that last offensive drive was, I believe that the polite term is omni-shambles for the Shropshire Revolution. I'm trying to look over there to see if number 11, their starting QB, is letting up, or are we going to see Dom Sims potentially close out this game? But I mean, despite the score, it is 15-17. But I mean, you've got a kicker with an absolute leg for the Birmingham Bulls. So if this scoreline stays, hey, I mean, you could put some faith into number 3 of the Birmingham Bulls. You know, at Sport Tank, we like to do our community picks as well as our picks on the rundown. And the majority of what the community thought of this game thought that the Shropshire Revolution would be coming away with the victory. So make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Number 3, Birmingham Bulls. Ready to kick. We've got the white hat referee telling him to hurry up on a kickoff. Kick away. That's going to be fielded by number 8. They're going to go for the reverse again. The good tackle there by 51 of the Bulls. So it looks to be that the game, Tom Wentink on the tackle there. It looks like the day of Ben Martin, number 11, looking to be over as we see number 14 for the Shropshire Revolution come out onto the field. And then it becomes I mean, we've already seen Shropshire get down into the Birmingham Bulls red zone. Handoff to 44. I believe that is Davis. He's going to power through for a good run there for the Shropshire Revolution. But Davis there with a gain of 8 on the play for the Shropshire Revolution. But again, I think there could be a sense of overconfidence coming into this game for the Shropshire Revolution, because I mean, again, as I said earlier, when you look at the scoreline for last week, you go, 31-0 to Northants. That's not great. And now, after a disastrous offensive play, goes to Davis again. Goes forward. The Birmingham Bulls are ball hunting. But after a disastrous offensive drive last time out, and then a huge run by Chicane around the outside again for a Birmingham Bulls touchdown, plus the safety, of course. You know, I imagine Shropshire are feeling some of the shock and awe here of the Birmingham Bulls. They need to, you know, wipe their head clear of anything Birmingham Bulls has got them fearful. 3rd and 3 for the Shropshire Revolution. Hand off to Davis again to the right-hand side. I don't think they're going to get that. 3 balls to Davies in a row. And the punting, so they're not going to gamble this time, are the Shropshire Revolution, as that run sets them back a yard. Fourth and 3 for Shropshire Rev. So we saw Shropshire Rev do some tricky stuff with their punt earlier today. Are they going to try and break it out here? Morton back to kick it away for Shropshire Rev. They got it to him. Nope, just something simple here. That ball is sailing. What a boot from Morton. That looks to be going for a touchback on. Oh no. I thought that was a touchback. It looks to be the Shropshire Rev have managed to seal the Birmingham Bulls deep into their own end zone, right down the other end of the field. Typical. But we haven't seen much in the way of TFLs for Shropshire. The majority of the time when Birmingham Bulls have been starting behind the sticks, it's been by their own gumption. But the Bulls are backed up. The Bulls are backed up. They're going to need to be super tricky now, are the Bulls, if they want to get out of this without trading the safeties with the Shropshire Revolution. Oh my lord, and Chicane's on the move. I tell you what, there was a brief moment in that play where I thought, you know what, this is... Chicane might be going 98. He might be going 98. No, not going 98. But he's going far enough to take the Birmingham Bulls out of the safety zone. And again, every time I say about the safety zone, it sounds nice, does the safety zone, but you don't want to be in the safety zone. The safety zone is the danger zone, and the danger zone is the safety zone. Do you know what I mean? And that's just philosophy. So, fresh to the downs here for Birmingham. Once again, trying to cut around the outside. I believe that was 31. We see what we hear anyway. I'm not sure if I mean, I definitely do. I hear the Birmingham Bulls coaches calling for a face cage, calling for a hold. But given by the lack of yellow laundry on the field, I don't think you're going to be finding it. I believe that was Nabugo on the carry, picking up a gain of 9. Two pretty impressive running plays here from the Birmingham Bulls. But it seems that the Shropshire Revolution just can't stop it. So the referees have decided to have another look at something, and it's going to be a first down for the Birmingham Bulls. They just need to stop and move the chains. So fresh set of sounds for Birmingham. You can't not say that the Bulls are not on a roll. Another going to the outside. Oh, great finding the hole there from Chicane, but the Shropshire Revolution managed to get him down. We have a player down here for... No, everyone's up. So gain of 2 on the play on that run play from the Birmingham Bulls. I mean, I can imagine that the Bulls are going to have something to say to those community picks if they walk away from this with a victory. We are still in Q3. Scoreline 17-15 to the Shropshire Revolution. So this time going to the left-hand side, but there's just a big... Again, just Shropshire managing to sort of dial it in now, stopping the run play, getting bodies there. But even though they are getting bodies there, it does seem as though that the Bulls have the mass and the power to, even when the pile is completely wrapped up, they can just keep pushing it forward. And I think that's what makes a very, very good offense. One thing that's, it's almost missing in American football in this country for the most part is you've got too many linemen when contact is made. Just looking at their running back going, that play's not gone very well. Whistle blows, gentlemen. Not just gentlemen. Everyone who plays. 3rd and 1 for the Bulls. Chance of defence come from the Shropshire Revolution. And Birmingham having to burn one of their timeouts there. Call of water, but I mean, it's going to be difficult here. I mean, when you're in a game as close as this, you don't want to be burning your time out. But it could just be a case of you want to be able to use them, as the moment happens. But I guess potentially it's not even a case of burning a timeout. If you really, really do need to feel like you need to take a timeout in a critical situation such as this, why not do it? Why not do it? Why am I hating on the timeout being called? That's what they're there for. I hate teams who waste their timeouts. Waste their timeouts. Disgusting. So, ladies and gentlemen, the rundown returns to you tomorrow at 7:30 with Micah and potentially Oz, but Micah and guests discussing all the brick balls. Discussing all the brick balls news of the last week. So here we go. Only a yard to go between Birmingham and a first down. And I mean, Shropshire may have stopped that there. They gave that to a big man. We're going to have to see what the referees are saying. The referees are walking in because I imagine that they need to get this bang on because it's close. And we do have a member of the Revolution down. Now he's being picked back up. And he's walking off under his own power. I'm waiting for him to flip it over. No, we've still got refs in the middle of the field as they try to deliberate about where exactly this ball is going to be placed. Are Birmingham going to have a first down? It doesn't look like they are. Oh my lord, if that's the case, I'm going to try and just get it over for you. Let me zoom in. Look how close that is. 4th, and that is definitely 4th and inches. But it seems to be the Birmingham Bulls are going to play it safe. They're electing to punt it here. But I mean, if you've It's going to be an interesting one. Could we see something a little bit special here from the Birmingham Bulls? Got a man in motion for Birmingham. No, kick is away. That's going to take a Shropshire bounce. That is going to take a big Shropshire bounce. And what looked like it could have been damaging is going to be setting up at probably about the halfway point of the field. So, just as that punt lands, we're going to reach the end of Q3 in this NFC 1 Midlands contest. And it is still all to play for here. It is still all to play for here today. 17 to the Shropshire Revolution, 15 to the Birmingham Bulls, and still 1 quarter of brick ball action still left to play. I'll have a quick sip of my water. Backup QB for Shropshire Revolution looks to be, I don't know why I'm saying looks to be, I can see that he's in, but he managed to get them down into scoring position, but they didn't attempt a field goal or managed to get it in for a touchdown. But then after that, a disastrous good snap. Hand off to 6. 6 around the outside. And just something simple there. Going to be enough for a first down. And I mean, the field position gifted to the Shropshire Revolution by the bounce of that punt is now looking absolutely fantastic, as it looks to be the Shropshire Revolution have moved it down to the 35-yard line. A good run there from 6 of the Revolution. So another handoff to 6, but that is just completely met in the backfield and they are swamped. And that sends the Birmingham Bulls sideline absolutely crazy. And I think that might be number 6. I wish I had a name for number 6, but on the roster sheet given to me by the Shropshire Revolution, they didn't have a number 6. So no player is up. If it is number 6, which I think it is, as he's walking off with the medical staff in tow. So we're going to stop looking at just some grass and we're going to get back into it. Fourth quarter just dawning and only 2 points in it. The backup QB for the Shropshire Revolution is in, and the Birmingham Bulls have got a hell of a kicker. I can't imagine that the Shropshire Revolution are going to be negating any field goals if it is to be the case. But that's what they're in, force the Bulls to have to get a touchdown. Is arguably what you need to do here. Well, or score a touchdown, of course. But so Sims has got it. Sims hands it off, and once again it is swallowed up. And you know, the Bulls defense, again, you have to be looking at the amount of players the Bulls have. It's not a whole lot, but they're one of the true worrying things that you can play against, it seems. So timeout called by the Shropshire Revolution. They seem to all be athletes because the motors for the Birmingham Bulls, in fact in the offense as well, doesn't seem to be waning. And you know, because it is a warm day here. So 13:38 still to play in this NFC 1 Midlands fixture. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, hey, Sport Tank, come and cover some Northern games. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a Northern game this week. We've got an international game next week. And then the week after that, I believe, we're doing a Northern fixture again. So this narrative, no, can't have this narrative anymore. And I've also talked with Samwell. I'll try and do some Samwell games. But I will say, I do like this pitch in Shropshire, so they could see a return visit. Let's stop talking about me. So it's a big challenge here. 3rd and 14 now for the Revolution. Dom Sims, full start. And once again, they try to draw the balls offside. They try to draw the balls offside, but someone must be a bit antsy, so they're going to be going back. What looks to me to be a 3rd and 19, and again, I'm sure that I know that Dom Sims has got a bit of has got a cannon in his arsenal, but I don't think it's going to be able to be unleashed here. You'd like to think so, at least for a Shropshire Rev fan, but is he even warm yet? Obviously he's warm because it's a hot day, but is he, you know, warm mentally? Is he warm in his shoulder, in his arm, in his hand, in his eyes? In fact, sending the man in motion. Bit of a high snap, hand off, and just flooded. And now the punting unit for the Shropshire Revolution are coming back onto the field, and the energy radiating from the Birmingham Bulls sideline is clouding the Shropshire Revolution. I mean, if you look over the Birmingham Bulls sideline, loud, engaged, and there's not that many of them. The Shropshire sideline doesn't, they seem down, and they're winning by 2. I think it's because they know they need 3 there, and these offensive drives, their first offensive drive with Dom Sims in at QB was great. It was fantastic, but since that point, it's been no good for the former Lincoln Colonial. So Morton the punter, flag on the play, delay a game on the Shropshire Revolution. Okay. Not too bad, giving themselves some space between them and a touchback. But I mean, all the Bulls need is one big play, and they can take the lead in this game, take the lead back. Bit of a high snap. Morton's got it. Kicks it to the left-hand side. They're staying away, and that ball is rolling. And that ball is going to. That ball's going to fall at the 10, but we could hear it now. Trying to get a number on him. He said, he exclaimed something to a referee. So what was a great punt ending on the 10-yard line is going to be coming forward for the Birmingham Bulls. Number 21 for Shropshire Revolution is not having a great day. I mean, again, what was a great punt is now going to be coming forward for Birmingham. The ref's having a conversation. Well, at least it looks that way. Obviously, I'm assuming that they are going to enforce this, because I mean, if I can hear it over here, you know, you can't be shouting at a referee in that manner. Well, no, you can't actually shout at a referee at all, can you? Really? well, not to sound weird, but imagine if I shouted at the referee, "You look really nice today." They probably wouldn't mind that, but I guess it depends on my tone of voice, how I was shouting it. So, again, what went from a punt from the 10-yard line, now going to be at the 25-yard line for the Birmingham Bulls, after I believe number 21 said something loud and rude to one of the officials today. So from the 25, Bulls still need, oh, this coach is still on the field. So the referees are having a conversation with one of the coaches of the Shropshire Revolution. I mean, if I'm talking about it, I might as well show it. And they're on the field, so. But I mean, it really is all to play for in this fourth quarter here. But the Bulls can. The Bulls definitely are, or have got the potential here to rip something off big styly. And Chicane is going to be the man to watch. Not that Berry hasn't had some great throws here today, but Chicane, again, for a rookie, he's managing to find these gaps pretty easily, or at least be patient, and they just appear in front of him, which I guess is also a testament. It's also a testament to the toughness, and I guess the mental aptitude of the Birmingham Bulls O-line as well. You can't have a good running back without a great O-line. So we're going to whistle back in here in Telford, as we are still in the fourth quarter with 2 points in it. Shropshire have not managed to get anything going since the first drive featuring Dom Sims. But Birmingham have been able to rip off these big plays. Man in motion for Birmingham. Cuts across. Hand off to Chicane, but I mean, they saw that one coming. Now there are some disciplinary issues here for the Shropshire Revolution, I'm sorry to say, but this is absolutely ridiculous. There was absolutely no need for that Shropshire player to push a man when he's already on the ground. Give me a break. Give me a break. You've already given up 15 yards because of one of your players shouting at a referee. And now I assume you're about to give up some more yards. Ridiculous. It's on balls. It's on both. So penalties cancel each other out, but I'm sorry, but there's a real issue here with both snap discipline and discipline here for the Shropshire Rev. I know it's your first game, guys, but you're only hurting yourself. I mean, I don't need to judge. I'm not going to try and backseat coach or anything, but come on, you're winning the game. You're winning the game. So 2nd and 12 now for Birmingham. Man in motion. And it's a toss out wide. Chicane has got it, finds a gap. And he's going to have another decent amount of yardage for the rookie from the Bulls. Let's see how many yards he's going to get. Yeah, I was going to say I thought you got a bit more than that. So gain of 6 on the play. which means they've got 6 to go. 3rd and 6 for the Bulls. I'm going to keep saying it, 2 points in it, and they've got a hell of a kicker. And a toss back to Shropshire on the right. He stumbles, finds his feet again, but the Shropshire Revolution meet him. And they're going to force a Bulls 4th down. Always worries when these players are slow to get up, but no, they're both fine. They are both fine. So number 3 comes back on, the punter for the Bulls. Time is running out for Birmingham. They're just hoping to force something. Force 4 and outside they have done the last 2 drives. That ball is away. Takes a good Birmingham bounce and a great Birmingham roll. That's a great Birmingham roll. Or a cob, I think they call it in Birmingham. So a good Birmingham roll is a cob or a batch. That's a good batch. So the last time we saw the Shropshire Revolution in the shadow of their own end zone, it was a safety city after 2 high snaps. Domson was managing to get a hold of one, couldn't get a hold of the second, and then he was absolutely flattened by a defender from the Bulls, resulting in 2 points. That's what a safety is. Well, no, that's not true, because technically you can have a 1 point safety. But then a 1 point safety is called a 1 point safety. Oh, it doesn't matter, let's log back in. So Dom Sims, their QB, 1st and 10 for the Revolution. He's got it, it's a handoff, running right. There's space, there's a hole, there's going to be some yardage gained. I think that could be 5 or 6. I normally say 6, so I'll go with 5. But it could be a case of now Shropshire Revolution just trying to skim this clock down as much as possible. I thought it was 6. No, it went out of bounds much before that, so it's going to be a gain of 4 on the play. It's going to be a case of now Shropshire Rev just trying to run this clock out, but the Birmingham defence has been very, very interesting to watch in the sense of, you think that they'd be getting burnt out, but they're just not. 2nd and 6 now for the Revolution. Sims drops back, Sims fires, and it is batted away. Looking for number 9. Third and 6. Birmingham, a stop picker really put Birmingham in a great position if the Shropshire Revolution elect to punt. If they don't, then they will. They just will. I would say fire the coaching staff if they decided to punt if they went for it on 4th from 4th and 6. But I'm talking to myself. Okay, Sims drops back. Sims being pursued. Sims is rolling. Flag on the play though from the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Could we see a free play? I didn't see any jumping, but so offside on the defence. Free play there for the Shropshire Revolution. They're not going to get it, but it's going to be a 5-yard gain for them. So it looks like the Revolution are going to be facing a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1. Again, normally in a situation we have seen both of these teams elect to try and draw the other offside to varying successful results for both squads. You can hear the Birmingham Bulls coaches telling their players, watch that ball, stay honest with yourself. But I mean, this could go a long way for the Shropshire Revolution's dreams of running the clock out if they manage to convert this one. And it's a handoff. Going forward, that is going to be enough for a Shropshire Revolution first down. You can see some of the Birmingham Bulls defenders trying to drag that man back across the line, but that's not how it works. You're going to have a man down for the Shropshire Revolution. But this clock is ticking away. And I mean, truly, I mean, if you're the Shropshire Revolution and you end up winning this game, I'd put it like this: there's a lot to talk about in classroom and at training. There's a lot to talk about if you're the Shropshire Revolution. Birmingham Bulls, I will say, they have impressed me. Obviously, you know, very much. I imagine what the Shropshire Revolution were thinking coming into this game, 31-0 last week to Northampton. You go, oof, this could get ugly, right? But Birmingham's done nothing but impress me all game long. Defense has been very, very good. Offense has been, you know, a bit one-dimensional, running it majoritively through chicane. But luckily, chicane's really good, so it's not too much of a problem. But Shropshire Revolution, flags, discipline. That's my main concern for the Shropshire Revolution going forward, if I'm completely honest. But if Birmingham win this game, hey, Shropshire, shot yourself in the foot. And especially some of those. No, it doesn't matter. Anyway, well, I don't know why I'm talking all philosophically about this game, like it's not literally happening in front of our eyes. So Dom Sims has got it. Dom Sims drops back. Dom Sims fires a cannon and a reception. Another absolute corker for Dominic Sims. And then he tries to emote. Dom Sims, you're not cool, mate. You're boring. I mean, Dom Sims there with an absolutely fantastic ball out there. That's the second time he's managed to throw an absolute screamer today. And Jack Colchester on the reception. Fresh set of downs here for Shropshire. Trying to get the jump. Hand off to 6. He's back in. Brought down, maybe a gainer. Going to be a gainer 2 on that play. But again, here we're in a triple threat, ladies and gentlemen, like the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, because it's Shropshire versus Birmingham versus the clock. Shropshire wanted to run out. Birmingham want to save it, and then they've also got to, you know, face each other as well. So 2nd and 8 now for the hometown side. Can they get something going? And the ball is out. And the ball is out. We see lots of pointing there from Shropshire. The Bulls watch on with bated breath. We have a revolutionary down. There seems to be some arguing, but it does look as though this ball is going to be... Well, the referees haven't said whose ball it is yet, but I mean, if this is Birmingham's, this could be an absolute corker. And number 6, our mystery running back for the Shropshire Revolution, is coming off the field. So It's like it's a dazzle of zebras as a group of zebras. So an off unsportsmanlike penalty by 66 of the Shropshire Revolution once again is going to set the Shropshire Revolution back massively. So a second and I'm going to say at least 22, 23. I think that says it's... It says it's fourth down. But I mean, once again here, Shropshire Revolution shooting themselves in the foot. Fourth on a flight for the Revolution here. You know, we've seen Dom Sims get out of a couple of situations like this, and by a couple I do mean only two today. Referees having a chat with one of the Birmingham coaches. Bear me, ladies and gentlemen, just be 1 second. Still hear my lovely voice. There's been lots of stopping in this game, which means it's time to change the battery. Take a step down, make sure it's all working. And it is. Fantastic. I mean, it's coming down to the wire. Neither team are budging. When it seems as though the Shropshire Revolution they've got it and they're locked in. The yellow laundry spirals out of the pocket from one of our officials. Third and, oh God, third and a lot. Dom Sims has got it. Sims drops back. Sims is looking. And it's intercepted by number 17. But that is a man, no, number 17, that's an injured man running that football, but that has set the Birmingham Bulls up nicely. But now I think it's Shropshire Revolution who are going to be trying to save some of this clock, because the Birmingham Bulls look to be on the 25-yard line of the Shropshire Revolution. Birmingham got a man in motion. Going to run that toss play out to Chicane. Chicane has got the angle once again. And Chicane is going to be going out of bounds, but he's going to have a first down for Birmingham. Yeah, we've got to pay attention to the clock, but again, ladies and gentlemen, it's been all day today. All the exciting stuff is happening down the other side of the pitch. So I can't ask a referee. .99, who's made some big hits today for Shropshire, is subbing himself back in. And Berry, number 9, the QB for Birmingham, coming in. These teams have only played each other 4 times in the regular season. Twice in 2022, twice in 2024, and the series is currently split, with Birmingham winning both games in 2022 and Shropshire winning both games last season. 37 in the backfield as well. For the Bulls. And Berry's going to roll out. He's going to try and find something. And he's just going to go out of bounds. So, you'd think if you'd get that close to the side, you'd just sort of ping that. No. Realistically, if you're Birmingham, you know that you've got a pretty reliable kicker in your back pocket. You can take the lead in this game. And then you've got to trust in your defence to come away with something, but they want to leave nothing on the clock for Shropshire Revolution. Man in motion for the Bulls. And there's that toss play again to Chicane. And he's found the outside. Flag on the play. We've got an injured Bulls player down. 2 flags on the play, in fact. You know, both of these teams know that this is absolutely critical mass time. Shropshire want to start their season off right with a win. Birmingham want to try and right the ship and prove doubters wrong from the week prior. So a holding call there on Birmingham. You know, you've got to look at the Midlands one. They've got some tricky teams in this div. Northants, the Surge. You know, I'm excited to see how the Steelers, what their season's looking like after they after D2, after they left D2, after coming down again. It just feels like only yesterday that the Sandwell Steelers were up in the Premiership. I'm sure they'd like to get back there at some point. At some point, yeah. So it is 2nd and goal. But with that holding call plus Berry being dragged out of bounds, it's 2nd and goal from the 24. So Berry is looking, and there's just no one there. So, I mean, realistically, what you do here, you give it to Chicane on the outside, and you hope that number 3, your barefoot kicker, can punch it through the uprights and give the Shropshire Revolution something to be stressed about. Or at least that's what I do. I try not to backseat coach. That's because that's what you do as a commentator, I suppose. So 3rd and goal from the 23. 8 in motion for the Bulls. Berry's dropping back, flings it into the middle. And that might have been picked off. I'm a bit unsure. It looked like it wasn't. Was that picked off? That was picked off. Christ, I thought number 2. Why did you throw that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I believe that's the 2nd interception of the day for number 2. Reese Mellings may have just saved this game for the Shropshire Revolution. But. We have seen the Shropshire Revolution when they are backed up. And it looks to me to be that the Shropshire Revolution are going to be starting this offensive drive from their own 5. Dom Sims still in at QB. We've seen some high snaps be disastrous. Flipped to number 10. He's going to have some space and he's going to have some yards. He's going to have a good amount of yards. He's going to have 7 on that play. The finish chant coming from the Shropshire Revolution side, and they know that, again, as it stands right now, they've been winning. This game has been back and forth for at least the fourth quarter, especially. 2nd and 3 for the Revolution, trying to kill this clock and walk away with their first victory. And it goes to Davis, number 44, and he dives through, and that is going to be a first down for the Revolution. Time is ticking for the Bulls. Three minutes, 18 seconds left in this NFC 1 Midlands contest, and again it has been right down the middle, back and forth. Both teams, I believe, have got 2 timeouts, and they flip it to 10 again. And a good tackle there by number 8 of the Bulls. Is going to coalesce that into only a gain or 2 there for the Revolution. But this clock just keeps on ticking. Second and 8 for the Revolution. Clock keeps on ticking down. We've got the white hat ref checking his watch. Screen pass out and dropped by 9. Good. So there we go. So, 2-minute warning. 1:58 remains. The Bulls need to stop this. The Shropshire Revolution, they need 8 yards. You do not want to give the ball back to Birmingham. Both teams with 2 timeouts, I believe. Referee saying hurry up offense. Delay a game here would absolutely kill it for the Shropshire Revolution if it's going to be coming their way. Hand off to Davis, number 44, and the Bulls have got him. The Bulls have got him. Bulls have got him, and of course the Bulls call a timeout. But I mean, this is crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. This game's actually been fairly interesting. We've not seen any scoring recently, but it's been pretty evenly matched. If you support the Birmingham Bulls, you've got to be happy about how this game has gone. Definitely an improvement from last week. But the punt is key here for Shropshire. The punt is key. Morton needs to get this one down. The last punt for the Revolution saw it finish at the 10-yard line, but an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty brought it out to the 25. 44 for the Bulls to return. Kick is away. That's a high ball, not a long ball. That's taken a Shropshire bounce. 44 is going to return it. And three of the Revolution stops a big breakaway there. But great from number 44 of Birmingham to... That ball's bouncing? Nah, don't want that. High parallel number 44 there. Good recognition, but Chris Smith getting the tackle. When Parallon looked like he was just going to take off the balls. With a single timeout remaining. Coming from their own 23. A field goal wins the game for Birmingham. 15 in motion. Hand off to Chicane. A good run. Birmingham trying to move fast. Birmingham trying to go fast, but it doesn't seem like they quite understand just what fast means. I'm being quite harsh to both teams today, but you're on a time crunch. You're on a time crunch. This is where the attrition for the Birmingham Bulls could really come in. You've got one timeout remaining. Hand off to Chicane. And the Shropshire Revolution. One yard remains. The clock is ticking. And a player down here for the Revolution, which does mean the clock is going to stop. But I do hope he's okay. I believe that might be number 99. He had such a big impact here for the Shropshire Revolution. But I mean, now it's time for conversations to be had. Because it looks as though the Birmingham Bulls are facing down a third and inches. Again, the Lions have got a pretty decent kicker. We've seen him drill some when he was warming up. So the player for Shropshire Rev is hopping off under supervision from some of his coaches. But Birmingham, with third and inches, let's get back up here and let's lock back in. Chicane in the backfield for Birmingham. A6 in motion, crosses him. Toss out to Chicane. They've had success with this play before. It's going to be enough for a first down with that hole. But brought down. So Birmingham take a timeout. It's their last one of the game. But they've got a fresh set of downs. And they've got a lot of yards to make up. They're still in their own side of the field. Well, it's absolute crunch time. We hear the ref, we hear the coaches from the ball sent, get to the sideline. That's obviously what you need to do here. We need to see what they do. We know that Chicane loves taking that ball to the outside, but can he get there? It's going to... Berry's got it. He escapes the tackle. He's going to run out and he throws it. Looking for 86. That clock is going to stop. Second and 10 here. We've not seen much in the passing game from the Bulls today, but they need to break something out. Don't get me wrong, I know that Chicane can absolutely rip one off, but I don't know, I think we're going to have to see something here. Especially because you know that the Revolution are going to be trying to get any player in a black jersey down inside the field. Keep that clock running. And it goes to Chicane on the outside route. He needs to go more outside, more outside, more outside. And he's tackled within the field of play, or at least I think he is. And the ball's trying to go fast here. It's there down the way for that, the way for the stick to move. And a timeout called by the Revolution. Eventually they didn't like something that they saw when the Bulls were lining up. Could very well be the last play of the game here in Telford. The Shropshire Revolution just a few seconds away from claiming their first victory and pushing the Bulls to 0-2. The Birmingham Bulls, on the other hand, one big play away from salvation. 31-0 defeat last week at the hands of the Northants Knights. A victory here today in Telford. Hey, that shifts the whole narrative. That shifts the whole narrative about what people thought the Birmingham Bulls would be able to do coming into this game. Berry drops back, escapes one tackle, being dragged out, and that QB, Berry, hits the floor. And we're just going to be waiting for the final whistle. And the Shropshire Revolution win their first game of the season. And I don't mind saying this, ladies and gentlemen, I'd argue by the skin of their teeth. By the skin of their teeth, I feel like there's definitely some things to work on for both teams, but you know, I don't tend to do this. I just tend to give the MVP to the winning team here, but I don't know. Chicane had a great job here. I would also give it to the man who recorded 2 interceptions for the Shropshire Revolution, Reese Mellings. Is it Melling or Mellings? It is Mellings. But yeah, so Birmingham Bulls move to 0-2. Shropshire Revolution 1-0. Very, very interesting to see how this is going to play out in the Midlands one. We've obviously got Northants who are looking pretty decent right now. Samwell Steele is still lurking, as well as the Staffordshire Surge. But I think this probably is going to serve as maybe a bit of a wake-up call for the Shropshire Revolution. There's some stuff to work on for both teams. And again, if you feel like I'm being harsh, comment it on the rundown tomorrow. But I think there was some discipline I don't like to see stuff like that. Again, the rust is... I wouldn't be able to say that the rust for the Shropshire Revolution has completely come off yet. That's what I'll say when I leave this game. So we're going to have a look at some of the scores from around the league just before we send you on your merry way to enjoy the rest of your bank holiday. Where am I? Yeah, happy Easter, everyone. Have a happy Easter. And have some, got a 2-hour drive home and I'm gonna drink 100 beers. 100 beers. So, Leicester currently leading the Bombers 24-0. South Wales currently lead Bournemouth Bobcats 8-0. The Vanguard and the Storm at the end of Q1 was 0-0. The Storm beat the Storm are beating the Vanguard 14-7. The Alphas are winning 14-0. Final score: Thrashers 48, Apache 20. Full-time Wembley Stallions 35, Blitz B 6. And I think that is good. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure to join you here.
Simon wants to know why Snorlax is your favourite Pokemon.
Yeah, I saw that and it's not funny, so it's not.
Well, why not?
I wasn't a Pokemon guy, I was a Yu-Gi-Oh guy as a kid. It's not an interesting answer, but basically it's basically because I'm fat is what he wants.
No.
Mate, that really hurt my feelings. Yeah, I've got my feelings hurt. Ladies and gentlemen, rundown tomorrow at 7:30 with Mike Reynolds. Talk about all of Britball for the following week. Next Saturday, we've got a special one for you. CEFL. What does it stand for? Championship European Football League. Do you know what that means? Champions. Bristol Aztecs host the Amsterdam Crusaders. 7 p.m. Then, on Sunday, the Somerset Wyverns host the South Wales Warriors. They're both coming your way next week. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Chris Tebbett. And ladies and gentlemen, in the year of our Lord 2025, on April the 20th, you're getting high on those scores, ladies and gentlemen, because the score here today in Telford, the Shropshire Revolution 17, the Birmingham Bulls 15. We'll see you tomorrow.